Turning Pain into Purpose, the Alchemy of Personal Transformation. Welcome to the Black CEO podcast, where we explore the extraordinary journeys of individuals who have transformed their challenges into catalysts for change. Today, we have the privilege of delving into the profound insights gained from an interview with Denise Kelley, a remarkable woman whose story of resilience and rebirth will challenge everything you thought you knew about personal struggle and human potential. Denise Kelley isn't just a survivor. She's a revolutionary in the realm of personal transformation. Her journey from the depths of despair to becoming a beacon of hope for countless others is nothing short of extraordinary. Through her work, Denise has not only reshaped her own narrative, but has also empowered thousands to rewrite their stories, turning their darkest chapters into sources of strength and purpose. Before we dive into the heart of Denise's insights, let's take a moment to appreciate the magnitude of her impact. Denise Kelley, through her #SOS, She Overcame Suicide movement, has quite literally saved lives. Her courage in sharing her own story of battling suicidal thoughts and self-harm has created a ripple effect of healing that spans continents. She's not just talking about change, she's actively forging a path for others to follow, illuminating the way for those still trapped in the shadows of their own minds. Now, imagine for a moment that your greatest weakness, your deepest shame, your most closely guarded secret could be transformed into your most powerful asset. Sounds like the stuff of fairy tales, doesn't it? Well, buckle up because we're about to embark on a journey that will challenge everything you thought you knew about personal struggle and human resilience. Let's start with a question that might make you squirm in your seat. What's the one thing about yourself that you've been desperately trying to hide, overcome, or forget? Got it? Good. Now, what if I told you that this very thing, this source of shame or pain, could be the key to unlocking your true potential? I know, it sounds absurd, perhaps even a little insulting, but stick with me because by the end of this talk, you might just find yourself looking at your life's challenges through an entirely new lens. Denise Kelley's story begins in a place many of us fear to tread, even in our darkest nightmares. As a young adult, Denise found herself locked in a daily battle with suicidal thoughts and self-harm. Now, when I say daily battle, I'm not talking about the occasional bad day or fleeting moment of despair. I'm talking about a constant, relentless assault on her very will to live. Imagine waking up every morning and your first thought being, I don't want to be here. Imagine looking in the mirror and seeing not a person, but a problem to be erased. Imagine your own hands becoming weapons against yourself, your skin a battlefield of self-inflicted wounds. This was Denise's reality. Now, at this point, you might be thinking, whoa, this is getting heavy. I thought this was supposed to be an inspiring talk. And you're right, it is heavy. But here's the thing. Sometimes we need to confront the darkness head on to truly appreciate the light. And trust me, the light is coming. Because here's where Denise's story takes a turn that's so unexpected, so counterintuitive, that it challenges everything we think we know about struggle and survival. Instead of being defeated by these experiences, Denise did something extraordinary. She looked her demons in the eye and said, you will not define me, you will refine me. Let that sink in for a moment. In the face of thoughts and impulses that threatened to erase her very existence, Denise chose to see them not as her destruction, but as her reconstruction. It's like she took the very flames that threatened to consume her and used them to forge herself anew. Now, I can almost hear some of you thinking, that's great for Denise, but my struggles aren't that dramatic. How does this apply to me? And that's a fair question. But here's the thing. The magnitude of your struggles doesn't matter. What matters is how you choose to view them. Think about it. We all have parts of ourselves, experiences in our past that we're not proud of. Maybe it's a failure that still makes you cringe. Maybe it's a habit you can't seem to kick. Maybe it's a fear that's holding you back. Whatever it is, I want you to consider something radical. What if that very thing is not your weakness, but your hidden strength? This idea that our deepest pain can become our most powerful asset is at the core of what I learned from Denise. It's a concept so counterintuitive, yet so powerful that it has the potential to revolutionize how we view our own life stories. Denise calls this your struggle, your story, your superpower. It's not just a catchy phrase, it's a philosophy that challenges us to reframe our entire narrative. It asks us to look at our lives not as a series of misfortunes to be overcome, but as a unique journey that equips us with invaluable insights and strengths. Now, let's be clear. This transformation didn't happen overnight for Denise. It was a process, a journey of self-discovery and healing that required courage, faith, and perseverance. She leaned on her faith, finding strength in her belief in God. But make no mistake, this wasn't about passive acceptance or blind faith. It was about active engagement with her pain, about choosing to see it as a teacher rather than a tormentor. Denise described to me a moment of profound realization. She was sitting in her room, surrounded by the physical and emotional scars of her struggles, when a thought hit her like a bolt of lightning. What if this pain isn't my punishment, but my preparation? It's a simple question, but its implications are profound. It suggests that our struggles aren't random acts of cruelty inflicted by an uncaring universe, but rather specific experiences designed to equip us with unique insights and abilities. Think about it. Who is better equipped to help someone battling suicidal thoughts than someone who has been there themselves and found a way out? Who can offer more authentic hope to someone struggling with self harm than someone who has walked that path and discovered alternatives? This realization was the catalyst for Denise's transformation. She began to see her experiences not as something to be ashamed of or hidden away, but as a valuable resource. Her struggles had given her a level of empathy and understanding that no amount of theoretical knowledge could match. But here's where Denise's story goes from personally inspiring to world changing. As she worked through her own healing process, she began to realize something profound. Her experiences, as painful as they were, had given her a unique perspective. She understood the depths of despair in a way that only someone who has been there can. And with that understanding came a powerful realization. She had the tools to help others who were struggling with similar issues. This is where Denise's story transcends personal triumph and becomes a beacon of hope for others. She realized that by sharing her journey, by being vulnerable about her struggles and her path to healing, she could create a roadmap for others who were still lost in the darkness. Now, I want you to pause for a moment and think about this. How many times have you kept quiet about your struggles because you were afraid of being judged? How many times have you hidden parts of your story because you thought they made you weak or unworthy? What if, like Denise, you could flip that script? What if your struggles, your pain, your flaws were actually your greatest strengths? Denise's approach to helping others is rooted in authenticity and empathy. She doesn't pretend to have all the answers or to have achieved some state of perfect healing. Instead, she offers something far more valuable: proof that it's possible to move beyond suicidal thoughts and self harm, and a blueprint for how to do it. This blueprint isn't a one size fits all solution. It's not about following a set of prescribed steps or adhering to a rigid program. Instead, it's about embracing your own journey, understanding that your struggles are part of your story, and learning how to transform them into your superpower. One of the most powerful tools Denise discovered in her own healing journey was the act of writing. She found that putting her experiences down on paper, crafting her story into a short memoir, was not just cathartic, it was transformative. It allowed her to see her life from a new perspective, to recognize patterns, to understand her own resilience in a way she never had before. This discovery led Denise to create a unique program, a 4-week online writing seminar that guides others through the process of writing their own short memoirs. Now, I know what you're thinking. Writing, really? How is that going to help? But stick with me here, because this isn't just about creating a literary work. It's about using the power of narrative to reshape our understanding of our own lives. Think about the stories we tell ourselves about our lives. So often, these narratives are shaped by shame, fear, and a sense of victimhood. We see our struggles as evidence of our weakness, our failures as proof of our unworthiness. But what if we could rewrite these stories? What if we could look at our lives through a lens of growth, resilience, and purpose? This is what Denise's writing program aims to do. It's not about sugarcoating difficult experiences or pretending that pain doesn't exist. It's about acknowledging the reality of our struggles while also recognizing the strength it took to survive them. It's about seeing how each challenge we faced has equipped us with unique insights and abilities. Let me give you an example. Denise shared with me the story of a participant in one of her seminars. Let's call her Sarah. Sarah had struggled with an eating disorder for years. and she carried immense shame about it. When she first started writing her memoir, her story was full of self blame and regret. But as Sarah worked through the process, something remarkable happened. She began to see how her struggle with food was connected to deeper issues of control and self worth. She recognized the resilience it took to face each day, even at her lowest points. And most importantly, she realized that her experience gave her a unique ability to empathize with and support others facing similar challenges. By the end of the 4 weeks, Sarah hadn't just written a memoir, she had rewritten her own self perception. Her eating disorder was no longer just a source of shame. It was a challenging experience that had equipped her with deep empathy, a nuanced understanding of mental health, and a passion for helping others. This is the power of reframing our struggles as superpowers. It's not about denying the pain or difficulty of our experiences, it's about recognizing that these very experiences can be the source of our greatest strengths. Now, I can almost hear some of you thinking, that's all well and good, but my struggles aren't that dramatic. I haven't overcome suicide or an eating disorder. How does this apply to me? And that's a fair question. But here's the thing, this principle applies to all of us, regardless of the nature or scale of our struggles. Maybe you've dealt with anxiety that makes social situations challenging. That same sensitivity that causes you anxiety might also give you an incredible ability to read a room and understand others' emotions. Perhaps you struggle with perfectionism that's held you back. That attention to detail and high standards could be your superpower in a field that requires precision and excellence. The key is to start looking at your challenges through this new lens. Instead of asking, how has this held me back? Start asking, how has this equipped me? What have I learned? How has this made me uniquely qualified to understand and help others? Denise's approach is encapsulated in the name of her LLC, hash SOS, which stands for She Overcame Suicide. This powerful acronym serves as a reminder that our darkest moments don't have to be the sin of our story. They can be the beginning of a new chapter, one where we use our experiences to lift others up. The idea that our struggles can become our superpowers isn't just a feel good platitude, it's a paradigm shift that has the potential to change lives. When we start to see our difficulties not as burdens to be shed, but as unique qualifications that enable us to help others, everything changes. But here's the crucial part. This transformation doesn't happen automatically. It requires conscious effort, a willingness to confront our pain, and a commitment to growth. It's about making the choice every day to see our experiences as a source of strength rather than shame. Denise's story teaches us that this process often begins with simple acknowledgement. It's about saying, yes, this happened to me. Yes, it was painful. And yes, I am still here. This acknowledgement is the first step in reclaiming our narrative and taking control of how we view our own lives. From acknowledgement, we move to acceptance. This doesn't mean approving of the painful things that have happened to us. It means accepting that they are part of our story and that we have the power to decide what role they will play in our lives going forward. And then comes the most powerful step, alchemizing our pain into purpose. This is where we start to ask ourselves, how can my experiences help others? What have I learned that could make someone else's journey easier? How can I use my story to bring hope to those who are still struggling? This process of turning our struggles into superpowers isn't just beneficial for others, it's profoundly healing for ourselves. When we start to see our painful experiences as a source of wisdom and strength, we strip them of their power to define us negatively. We transform our relationship with our past. And in doing so, we open up new possibilities for our future. Denise's work through her writing seminar, Overcome Her, Healing Through Writing, is a practical application of this philosophy. By guiding people through the process of writing their own stories, she's helping them to reframe their experiences, to see the strength in their struggles, and to recognize the unique gifts they have to offer the world. But let's be clear, this isn't about toxic positivity or denying the reality of our pain. It's not about slapping a happy face sticker over our wounds and pretending everything is fine. It's about acknowledging the depth of our struggles while also recognizing the strength it took to survive them. It's about honoring our journey, all of it, and using every part of our experience to fuel our growth and our ability to help others. Denise shared with me a powerful metaphor that I think beautifully encapsulates this idea. She said, think of your struggles like a diamond in the rough. When it's first mined, a diamond looks like an ordinary rock. It's only through intense pressure and careful cutting that its true beauty and value are revealed. Our struggles are like that pressure. They're painful, yes, but they have the potential to reveal our true strength and brilliance. This metaphor resonates deeply because it acknowledges both the pain of our struggles and their potential to transform us. It reminds us that the very experiences that feel like they're crushing us can actually be shaping us into something extraordinary. Now, I want to pause here for a moment and address something important. Some of you might be thinking, this all sounds great, but it feels a bit selfish. Should we really be trying to find personal gain in our pain? And that's a valid concern. But here's the thing. This isn't about personal gain. It's about personal growth that enables us to contribute more fully to the world around us. When we transform our struggles into strengths, we don't just benefit ourselves. We become better equipped to support others, to create positive change in our communities, to contribute our unique insights to solving complex problems. In essence, by healing ourselves and reframing our struggles, we put ourselves in a position to help heal the world. Denise's story is a perfect example of this. By working through her own pain and transforming it into purpose, she's now in a position to help countless others who are struggling with suicidal thoughts and self-harm. Her personal healing has rippled out to create healing for an entire community. This brings us to a crucial point: the power of vulnerability and shared stories. In our society, there's often a tendency to hide our struggles, to present a polished, perfect version of ourselves to the world. But Denise's work shows us the incredible power of being open about our challenges. When we share our stories, not just the highlight reel, but the raw, real, sometimes messy truth of our lives, we create space for others to do the same. We break down the walls of isolation that so often accompany personal struggles. We show others that they're not alone, that there's no shame in facing challenges, and that there's hope for transformation. Denise shared with me a powerful moment from one of her seminars. A participant, after sharing their story for the first time, said with tears in their eyes, I've carried this secret for so long, thinking it made me broken. But hearing everyone else's stories, I realize we're all a little broken. And maybe that's what makes us beautiful. This moment captures the essence of what happens when we start to see our struggles as part of our story, rather than something to be hidden or overcome. As we begin to recognize the common threads of human experience that connect us all, we develop a deeper empathy for others and a greater compassion for ourselves. But here's where it gets really exciting. When we start to view our struggles this way, we don't just change our own lives, we have the potential to change entire communities, even societies. Imagine a world where people are no longer paralyzed by shame over their past struggles, but are empowered by the wisdom those struggles have given them. Imagine a society where we value not just traditional forms of success, but also the strength and resilience it takes to overcome personal challenges. This is the world Denise Kelley is working to create, one story at a time. Through her own journey and her work with others, she's showing us that our struggles don't have to be the end of our story. They can be the beginning of a powerful new chapter. As we near the end of our time together, I want to leave you with a challenge. It's a challenge that has the potential to radically transform how you view yourself and your life experiences. Are you ready? Here it is. I challenge you to look at the part of your story that you've been trying to hide, overcome, or forget. That thing you think makes you weak or broken or less than. I want you to consider, just for a moment, how that very thing might actually be your greatest strength. Ask yourself, how has this struggle equipped me with unique insights or abilities? How has it deepened my capacity for empathy? How might I use this experience to help others who are facing similar challenges? This isn't just an intellectual exercise. It's an invitation to radically reframe your life story. It's a call to alchemize your pain into purpose, your struggles into superpowers. And here's the beautiful thing. When you start to view your life through this lens, you'll likely find that you're not just transforming your own narrative, you're opening up new possibilities for connection, for contribution, for creating positive change in the world around you. Remember, your struggle is your story, and your story can become your superpower. It's not about what has happened to you, but about what you choose to do with it. Your experiences, no matter how painful, have given you a unique perspective and a unique ability to connect with and help others. So I challenge you today, start rewriting your story. Look at your life through this new lens. See your struggles not as obstacles, but as the very things that make you uniquely qualified to make a difference in the world. And then, most importantly, use your story to lift others up, to offer hope, to show that it's possible to not just survive our darkest moments, but to use them as a springboard to create a life of meaning and impact. As you leave here today, I want you to carry with you the words of Denise Kelley. Your pain is not your punishment, it's your preparation. Let these words be a beacon guiding you towards a new understanding of your life's challenges. And remember, this journey of transformation isn't one you have to take alone. Reach out, share your story, listen to the stories of others. Because when we come together, when we have the courage to be vulnerable and authentic, we create a tapestry of human experience that is infinitely stronger and more beautiful than any single thread could be on its own. You are not defined by what has happened to you. You are defined by how you choose to use those experiences to shape your future and impact the world around you. Your struggle is your story, and your story has the power to become your greatest superpower. Embrace it, share it, and watch as it transforms not only your life, but the lives of those around you. As we conclude, I want you to take a moment. Close your eyes if you're comfortable doing so. Think about that part of your story you've been trying to hide or overcome. Now, imagine it not as a weight holding you down, but as wings lifting you up. Imagine the people you could help, the change you could create, the hope you could inspire simply by embracing and sharing your full story. That power is within you right now, today. All you have to do is choose to see your struggles not as limitations, but as the source of your unique strengths. So, what will you do with your story? How will you transform your struggles into superpowers? The answer to these questions could not only change your life, but could also be the lifeline someone else desperately needs. The world is waiting for your story. It's waiting for your unique gifts forged in the fire of your struggles. Don't keep it waiting any longer. Embrace your story, share your truth, and in doing so, light the way for others to do the same. Thank you.